Páilteach an Uaisle and welcome to TEG Cusick Park for the last of our county finals this year. We're in the depths of November here, and it's the Junior 1 final between Ballinagore and St. Joseph's. I'm absolutely out of breath. I'm at the walk from the minor final in St. Lawrence, but I'm joined in co-commentary this afternoon, or in co-analysis this afternoon by Owen Carberry. And Owen, you know, at the start of the year, from anybody's perspective, these were probably the two teams we thought would be in the Junior 1 final this year.
Yeah, definitely, like with Ballinagore winning Junior 2 last year, bringing momentum into this year, and then Joseph's, I suppose, following up being in the county final last year. They're both were probably hoping to be here today. Yeah,
and of course you have first-hand knowledge of St. Joseph's. I suppose you're involved with them there for a couple of years. You know, it always strikes me, the junior final. I always say I'm delighted when it's two sole junior clubs. You know, there's no disrespect to any other team that have second names, but it always excites me a little bit more because look at the crowd that's here in front of you. This is about pride of parish. This is about the GAA's own notification, like where we all belong, and that's what it looks like today. There's a big crowd developing here for this final.
Yeah, look, for the sole junior clubs, like I think it means more for them.
I think it does.
Look in terms of senior teams with second teams and stuff. Look, it means, but it doesn't mean as much to them as much as the likes of Joseph's, Ballinagore, and the likes of St. Paul's yesterday. You know, it just means a lot to them. You know?
I agree. Yeah, and they will regard this as a victory not only for the club but also for the parish and the pride of where you live in as well, you know.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Like, and knowing the two clubs, like, a win today would just be absolutely massive.
And clubs that are the epitome of what everything the GAA is about, you know. Small rural clubs, but put the shoulder to the wheel every time you're asked. You know, St. Joseph's and Ballinagore, two of the most obliging clubs that you could ever meet. You know, Joseph would have had success. I've known him through the years, through the score, and you know, more obliging people you couldn't meet, and real GAA people, and it's great to see them here today.
Yeah, look, being involved with Joseph there the last couple of years, you can see like the amount of work that's going getting involved with underage, and with that work in underage, they're reaping the rewards hopefully with their senior team. But the amount of effort that goes into these rural clubs is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and Ballinagore similarly, Owen, we've seen them here. They were in the depths of despair here maybe 3-4 seasons ago. We wondered where were they going to come back from, but they've done a tremendous job. They've gone back to basics. They've gone back to their underage structures. They're amalgamated, of course, as Enel Shamrock. So, but it's a huge effort being put in by an awful lot of people. That goes a little bit unnoticed, but we notice it. You know, people that are involved, we notice it. And, you know, it's fair play to them to be back here. They were here 12 months ago in a Junior 2 final. Possibly a little bit lucky to get out with the win, but at the same time, you always felt it was in them. Today is going to be a completely different game. It's a perfect day for football. Maybe a bit cold and a little bit of wind, but apart from that, it's virtually a perfect day for football.
Yeah, and look, you're going to need a bit of luck today to win as well, like in any final. But look, at conditions today, look a little bit windy, but it's nothing compared to what the conditions were last year.
Oh my God!
You know, they were nearly, you know, it's very hard.
November football.
But like in terms of Ballinagore, to have Michael Innes back there, they're after getting a huge kick from him, and you know, no better man to get Ballinagore going.
And to have Tommy McDaniel back, of course, as well, a huge Philip. Like, you know, he has been the driving force. I've seen him a couple of times this season, and let's be honest, form is temporary, class is permanent. He's their go-to man. Now, that's not to say that he has plenty of good lads around him, but he adds that extra impetus for me. There's a little bit of star quality, much on the other side with McDonald as well.
Yeah.
You know, look, there are players there of serious quality.
Like, and look, that's the exciting part about today. You're looking at forwards on display like Tommy McDaniels, Jordy McDonald, and just in fairness, like both have got
Dean
Slevin, Alan Connon, you know, Ben, and then you've Dara Siri there as well. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Very good
lads that have played inter-county football and you know, well up to the standard that is needed in it. And if, you know, Mark McHugh was looking for anybody, I would suggest he was here at the intermediate and senior finals. Today is another day to be looking at a few lads, you know, because there is development. You know, I see development in both clubs and in both teams, you know. The style of football has changed completely on. We're discussing that over the last couple of weeks. I don't know what your views on the new rules are. I think badly needed, number one, and number two, it has made the game back to what I would consider, you know, it should be a shootout. It should be about who gets the most scores, not who can defend it better.
Yeah, and I completely agree. Like, higher scores as well, more entertainment, more scores, you know, means more people are going to get involved in the game as well.
More people are coming to watch the game,
yeah,
value for money.
100%,
you know. Now, having said that, I also, and it's been pointed out to me on a couple of occasions, like, has the art of defending died? I don't see that as being a case. I mean, if you're a good defender, you're a good defender, no matter what rules you're playing under. And we've seen that throughout the championship, particularly at junior level. Like, I mean, Ballinagore virtually out of the championship, and all of a sudden they get the St. Thomas was a penalty. It's down the field. It's over the bar. It's Tommy with a 2-pointer, and they win the game. And similarly for St. Joseph's against Mullingar Shamrocks, probably a little bit lucky to get out of it. But at the same time, it's showing a great resilience. It's showing that there's a bit of coaching going on, serious lot of coaching going on.
Yeah, and looking in terms of defending, like when back in the early 90s, it was all about man on man, and I think we're gone back to that. And I think that's how we're used to seeing defending. And just in terms of Joseph and both teams, they've kept scores down. The defending has been tight, especially Joseph's. Like, I think the highest score maybe would have been 1-8, 1-9, which is actually against Ballinagore in Championship. You know? So defensively, both teams have been very good this year.
Well, I was lucky enough to see their championship game already in the championship this year. Very, very entertaining game. It wasn't the greatest high-scoring game, but it was very entertaining. What had entertained me more probably was, immediately from the sideline, if there was a problem, it was sorted. Yeah. Good management on both sides, and fair play to both of them for that. And it's great to see them here on county final day. I just hope it's not a mistake that wins the game on, I hope it's a piece of brilliance. Yeah,
and look, there's plenty of people out there that you could potentially get a piece of brilliance there in terms of, and look, when you look at both management teams, like, they're very experienced there. Paddy Malin with St. there, like, he's done.
You wouldn't know Paddy at all.
No, I wouldn't know Paddy at all. Like, I've seen him, the amount of work he puts in, but like, in fairness, he's not slow to make big calls. And I'm saying with Michael Ennis, like, if you need big calls, need to be
two legends of the game, two legends of their own club, and now they're putting the shoulder to the wheel of well. But we're nearly ready now. We're getting ready for commentary at the moment. It's going to be up to Ray in the Crow's Nest there. He's back from St. Loman's from the minor final. Just for any of you that hadn't seen the minor final, St. Oliver Plunkett's won that very handily, the minor hurling A final. It's up to Ray for the rest of the match. We'll be back with you here at half time. We might have an extra body on us here at half time, but for the moment at least, it's up to Ray, and enjoy the match, ladies and gentlemen.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shemarta Precast.
You're welcome to the commentary position here in TG Cusick Park for this Clark's Bar Junior 1 football final between St. Joseph's and Ballinagore. I'm joined on co-coms by Tom Brown, and on camera today we have Sarah Gavin outside the door bringing the pictures to you live here from TG Cusick Park. Tom, local derby game here, huge interest in this game. These two sides, either side of the town of Kilbeggan, so they'll know each other from being in school, they'll know each other from playing against each other at underage, though some of them play hurling together with Castleton-Gagan, so this is the makings of a cracking final.
Yeah, it's the makings of a cracking final. The first thing I'll say is the weather is a hell of a lot better than it was this time last year. If you remember back to last year's game, Ben McDonald, he sold the ball, it actually went behind him, so that we have perfect conditions for football. Late in the year, but perfect conditions for these boys. Two good teams, two teams that have to get up into the intermediate sector to be well able for it. But Who is going to be able to get up, we don't know. But two very well matched teams.
Yeah, and like you said, St. Joseph's beaten in the final last year of this competition, and then on the other side, Ballinagore, who won Junior 2 and have made their way straight through Junior 1 now into this county final. So they're experienced, both sides experienced of playing in county finals. So look, it's very little between these sides, I would imagine. They are the two best teams in that group, in the junior group. They finished 1 and 2. I think there was only a point or two between them when they met each other in the group stages. So hopefully we'll have a cracking end to the year with this Junior 1 final.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like to say it's great to see two proper junior teams in the final, but the two semi-finals that both of them had were, there was just a whisper in it with St. Lomans and Mullingar Shamrock, fair play to them. But you would have anticipated that this might have been the final at the start of the season. It has transpired like that. Paddy Mullin is in as the manager for Streamstown this year. Owen Carby was on analysis. He's with them for the last couple of years, so he'll know them inside out. Probably what the neutral would look at St. Joseph over the last couple of years is they've been thereabouts, but they've just lacked a little bit of physicality coming up against the kind of more physical teams. And with today's weather, I think it'll actually suit St. Joseph's to be playing that fast brand of football that they like to play. Obviously, Mick Ennis has done a savage job with Ballinagore over the last couple of years. I remember playing against Ballinagore in 2007 in the league when they were crowned intermediate champions. They were a very good side back then. Sadly, they've fallen away all the way back down to Junior 2 and then back up on the way up again now to Junior 1, which happens with rural clubs. But they're in fine position as well. They'll be well used to county finals. They're in the league final here. They're well used to Cusick Park. And it's going to be nip or tuck in this game, I think. Yeah,
looking at a couple of the matchups and a couple of players for our viewers at home to look out for. And look, let's be honest, the standout player for Ballinagore is their centre half forward, Tommy McDaniels.
Yeah, Tommy, as we know from the inter-county scene and throughout the years, he's been played with Castleknock, was it the last couple of years in Dublin. I think during the week, Michael Ennis alluded to it that winning Junior 2 and getting up to Junior 1 kind of was a big help in getting him back to play for Ballinagore for this season. So he's going to be the top dog for Ballinagore. But they have a lot of good other players as well. Peter Keegan, Dara Seary, Peter Reynolds, all very good players. Brandon Carey is a good guy inside there. But I suppose the question for St. Joseph is, and I hope they weren't kind of mulling over too long, is who they were going to be putting on Tommy McDaniels. I think Gannon is going to go on him. Jake Gannon is going to go straight on him as a matchup. That'll be interesting to see how that transpires in the first half. But over to St. Joseph, they've got a lot of talent. Dylan Drake is a young guy. He's learning his trade at full back, but he had an excellent season at full back. Jordy McDonald obviously is the star inside forward for St. Joseph. He's actually related to Paddy Buckley, I think a great granduncle of Paddy Buckley, the great Paddy Buckley that played with Westmeath. So there's plenty of pedigree within him. If he has a good game for St. Joseph's, I think St. Joseph's will be hard to stop. But again, it's that physical battle around the middle of the field. Noah McDonald and Ross Elliff, can they get the upper hand on Dara Seary and Peter Reynolds? Because in the modern game, it's the midfield battle that you have to win first before you kind of give yourself a platform to try win again. Right,
well with that, Tom, we're nicely set up now to give the two teams to our viewers at home, starting with Ballinagore. Now they line out with the goalkeeper Cathal Daly. The full back line is Luke Seary at 2, then Claffey at 3 and Conan Feary at 4. A half back line with Cathal Kelly at 5, Peter Deegan at 6 and the team captain Robbie Keegan at 7. Middle of the field, Dara Seary wear 8 and Neil partner Peter Reynolds wear 9. In the half forward line, Owen Robinson at 10, Tommy McDaniels at 11 and Cody Finan comes in at 12. And then inside line, Colin Coleman at 13, Brandon Carey at 14 and Paddy Ennis at 15. And with that, we just got the announcement that we're going to have Oran Naveen.
Your
Joseph team, they line out with the goalkeeper Alan Farrell. The full back line of Thomas Conlon at 2, Dylan Drake at 3 and Brian Fitzgerald at 4. Half back line, team captain Andy Conways at 5, Jake Gannon at 6 and Daniel Keegan at 7. Noah McDonald wears 8 and he'll partner Ross Elif at 9. Half forward line, Ben McDonald at 10, Dean Slevin at 12 and Brian Keegan completes, he's at 12. Jordy McDonald's at 13, Alan Conlon at 14, and completing the Joseph line at number 15, Andy Scally. Our referee for today's game is Brendan Keena. And Tom, before we go into it, I was surprised we didn't have a minute's silence here in memory of the late Liam Gavin from my own club, St Mary's Rocher Bridge. Good friend of mine, particularly at home, died suddenly during the week. He served as chairperson of the football committee. He was the club delegate for St Mary's from Rocher Bridge for a good number of years, also involved with the Westmeath Supporters Club. So we send our sympathy to the Gavin family, particularly wife Sheila, Declan and Johnny, Dell and Elaine, the 2 daughters as well, and grandchildren and extended family. But anyway, ready to get underway here as Brendan Keena throws it up. Ball, little push there. Sure what happened there for a second, but it is picked up for St. Joseph's there by Ross Elif, and first attack for them, and Ross has gone into the breaking ball. White jersey surround him as he goes to ground, and Brendan Keena has the hand in the air. We have the first free. Don't know what happened on the throw in there, Tom.
Yeah, I think it was an early blow there by Brendan Keena there for the
push in the
throw
back.
up. Yeah, but just notable that Ballinagore are playing with the breeze, and it's a pretty strong breeze going down into the apartment end.
Yeah, chance for Jordy McDonald now on this one. He's not sure whether he's going to take it from inside or he's standing just outside of the 40-metre arc, and he kicks it from just outside. No problem with the breeze, but unfortunately that one just tugged left and wide into the breeze. Tom, looking at it over there on the scoreboard, it is going to be a big factor, so it's probably a 5 or 6 point wind.
Yeah, good chance there for Jordy to settle down there. His team didn't make it. It is a big wind, I suppose, and every point will count. It's important that St. Joseph's can, I suppose, manage this against the breeze in the first half.
Yeah, Dean Slabin on the ball, kick out from Cathal Daly, intercepted now, and Joseph's on the attack again. McDonald with another opportunity this time, makes no mistake.
Yeah, good early signs for Springstown, St. Joseph's, that Jordy McDonald twice on the ball. That time he got a lovely score, great footballer.
Yeah, Cathal Daly tried to go short with that last kick out, didn't work out, so this time I'd expect with the breeze in his back, he's not a big man out around the middle of the field, so he'll try and launch it out to them, right footed, spinning in the air, on high there into the air, bring it down there was Owen Robinson on foul, taps and goes. Chance now for Ballinagore to get forward. Here's Peter Reynolds. Peter heads towards the 45, lays it off to Tommy McDonald's coming on the loop around. Tommy from outside the 40-metre arc, he's fired it in. Goalie can't do anything about it.
Yeah, the two top men that we talked about, Jordan McDonald and Tommy McDonald, introduces themselves to the game with a great 2-pointer. That was a nicely worked score and very easily stroked over the bar there by Tommy McDonald.
Yeah, we see the effect of the breeze there. He hadn't much time to think about it because there was a tackle going to come in, but he put the boot through it over the bar. Now, was it touched? I think it was a 2-pointer. I don't think the goalkeeper got any touch on it, so we'll just keep an eye on that one. It's shown here in TG Cusick Park, 1 apiece, but we think it's 2-1. Ballinagore have won the kick out again. Ball is there with Owen Robinson. Owen going into the centre, just holding that possession. McDaniels takes it from him, steps around, holds the possession, gives it back to the midfielder. Then it's Peter Reynolds. Reynolds cross over to the far side where the team captain Robbie Keegan has a chance to come forward. Great pacey player. Robbie going through. Chance, it opens up in front of him. Oh, Robbie hit the outside of the upright.
Yeah, alarm bells there for St. Joseph's there. Great run in by Robbie Keegan there. Just unlucky. He went for the goal, hit the outside of the post and wide. But a very entertaining start to this game.
Yeah, kick out for Alan Farrell.
Just confirmation also that was a 2-pointer.
Yeah, we just see the scoreboard has been corrected. Just over 3 minutes gone. 2-1 in favour of Ballinagore. As Alan Farrell, experienced goalkeeper, and played football with Clonard up in County Meath, and he kicks this one out. It breaks down, picked up there by Dara Seary on the break. Dara comes forward, pops it into McDaniels again. Tommy slipped as he was trying to get the strike away, and Farrell will deal with that one. Drops into the red basket, and he starts an attack now with Thomas Conlon. Joseph's coming out across the 145. That's the full back end of Claffey for Ballinagore that's in there making the tackle, but St. Joseph's do well and they break clear and head across their own 65-metre line, where there's a chance now for Daniel Keegan. Moves it across to this side of the field where Ben McDonald has it. Ben goes inside, pops it in as far as Dean Slavin. Slavin carries it forward, gives it inside. It's all very tight. Ballinagore trying to put the squeeze on them, but ball held there by Brian Keegan. Brian goes across the centre, pops it back as far as Daniel Keegan. Daniel directing on front of him, looking for somebody to make the move, and then just turns back and gives it to Noah McDonald. Noah with the right foot, he goes route one where there's 1-on-1 inside there, but Peter Deegan, the centre back there for Ballinagore, had filtered back in there and he mopped that one up and tries to set an attack on the way here, but St. Joseph's intercepted again and they turn it over, and a chance now to get the shot in. Cathal Daly's just watching that one. He's at the post there and he's happy to let that one bounce out over the end line and wide.
Yeah, we're just Ballinagore are dominating the kick out so far. Streamstown are getting, St. Joseph's are getting on the ball, but they've been a little bit panicky on the ball, kicking for scores there. They are playing again the breeze, possession football, and working their scores probably better off.
Cathal Daly, right footed, launches this one out. Well gathered, brilliant catch there by Brandon Carey. Brandon moved out from the full forward position, taking on Thomas Conlon. There it goes to ground. Going to be a free, and it's maybe an opportunity for Thomas McDaniel to go have a go at another 2-pointer. Breeze on his back. Tom, he's probably going to be 50 metres or so out when he gets it, but the breeze is strong. He kicked one from just the edge of the arc under pressure, so this time he has a chance to settle himself and an opportunity now to just push the lead out a little bit.
Yeah, I think we'll get a good gauge of the wind with, after this kick.
Tommy going through his routine, catches it well, but Dunning is going to have enough in it and drops into the goalkeeper's arms there. Alan Farrell, Alan coming out with it, needs to get rid of it, and he does exactly that. Cool head there, moves it over to that far side where the corner forward is Jordy McDonald. Jordy at the wrong end of the field as far as St. Joseph's is concerned as he comes across his own 13-metre line. Nice ball. Daniel Keegan is there. Keegan takes it, needs to get it away here, but good press there by the Ballinagore men, but Joseph's hold the ball and they have a spare man here with Jordy McDonald again. Jordy encouraged to carry it forward. Carries it out across his own 65. Solon on his left, and then nice right for the ball down the line. Ball breaks, and then the Claffey is there to intercept it. Gets it back to his wing back there. That's Cathal Kelly. Kelly back to Conor back. Conan Feary, and Conan opens the play up. Lively open to this game. 6.5 minutes. 2 points to 1 in favour of Ballinagore. There's a chance here for Robbie Keegan to come forward. Nice little ball in over the top. But good tackling there by Paddy Ennis involved there.
Andy Scally intercepted that one there. But St. Joseph getting on a lot of ball around this area here. They just need to be a little bit more patient against the breeze. They're trying to go for the ball inside, which isn't on. Just holding on possession, keeping the score, the timeline ticking, and just getting themselves a foothold in the game.
Yeah,
they started well.
They have possession, you know, to put it quickly through the hands over on that far side here now. And the ball is fired in by Jake Cannon. It's a dangerous ball. Broken inside. There's enough white jerseys around the wall. Man goes to ground. Referee sees nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, he was taken out by his own man.
Well, there, yeah. Mopped up in there. Peter Deegan trying to get the ball away. Ballinagore weather that storm. They have possession again with Robbie Keegan, the team captain. Robbie has enough room to come take it down the centre, pop a little ball on as far as Colin Coleman. Midfielders, Dara Seary now, he has a lot of Ballinagore players across the pitch in the line, just making sure that they take it forward now, and a chance for Robbie Keegan. There's a lot of space in front of him. Robbie wants to go into it. Pops it on to Thomas McDaniel. McDaniel, 3 defenders closing him down. Tries to get away from them, but good defend there. But they did foul him there. Yeah. But obviously, homework is done, and Tommy McDaniel, they're not going to give him space all day.
Yeah, interestingly, Jordan McDonald and Andy Scattle are both dropping into that half-back line from the 2 corner forward positions. St. Joseph set themselves up well with the 3 men around. Tommy McDonald's there that time. They tackled well, just a little bit of a foul. But Tommy will be happy too. He's getting on the ball early as well, and another chance for him to take a score here. Another 2-pointer actually.
Yeah, they're just looking around. I think there's an injury down at the other end. Just making sure that everyone's back on their feet. Tommy looking down, but now a chance for Ballinagore. Tommy's second and this one a little bit closer. Breeze might suit him here as he goes through his routine. Carries it forward. Clock just hits 9 minutes. We're right behind it. Is it going to stay inside the upright? It is indeed. Second 2-pointer, that time from a free for Thomas McDaniels.
Yeah, very
4 points to 1.
That was a very difficult free, actually, on his wrong side. I know he had the breeze, but he curled that in lovely. And that's what Stearnston do not want to do, is start giving Ballinagore a platform in the game by giving them 2-pointers like that. All of a sudden it's 4-1. They don't want that lead building up.
Alan Farrell back on the 20-metre line, ready with this kick out, kicking it into the breeze. Right-footed, hangs in the air. Brandon Carey is underneath, and Brandon goes high, calls the mark, and then fires the ball across this side for Cathal Kelly's a little bit of space. Cathal thought about going the line, but goes centre. Brandon Carey trying to thread the ball in. It's a good ball, there's an opportunity here. Ball is gathered by Owen Robinson. Owen has to recycle, gives it back out here now, and the chance of the shot coming in. It's high and it's accurately as well. It's over the bar. It's Paddy Ennis, I think the number 15 it was, that finished that one over the bar. Tom, for a second there, it was maybe a chance of a goal scoring opportunity there for Ballinagore. The ball just got away a little bit from Owen Robinson.
Yeah, the big problem for St. Joseph's at the moment is they're not able to win the kickouts. I know it's difficult kicking against the breeze, but they need to get a foothold on the breaks at least.
Yeah, Andy fired as well this time, because he sees that Andy Scally has gone over into space on that far sideline, gets the possession, and Brian Keegan has possession now back inside, where Thomas Conlon runs into a little bit of pressure, does well though just to hold that ball, but St. Joseph's going in the wrong direction at the minute. But Dylan Drake is there. Dylan trying to get down that right sideline, kicks it forward. Ballinagore though the first to react to it there in the Claffey. Almost got it in his hands, but they have it over there now. Looks like there was a tug on the jersey there of Cody Finan, but Cody gets possession back for his side, and Ballinagore build again as Dara Seary comes right across the middle of the pitch, tackled hard and tackled fairly, has to get rid of the ball, and Robbie Keegan then steps in. Robbie, great pace there from the number 7. He's gone into the arc, fisted ball on, just doesn't find Paddy Ennis there, and a little nudge in the back there by Paddy. A little bit of frustration there. That ball didn't come to the hand. Foul on the St. Joseph's man, and they have possession now deep inside their own 45-metre line.
Yeah, Captain Paddy there is after making 2 incisive runs. He's dangerous when he's on the ball running at speed like that, but good defending by St. Joseph there.
Yeah, Andy Scally has gone deep, and he gives it off there to Daniel Keegan. Daniel runs into a bit of traffic there, and the referee had just indicated the foul. High tackle there on the St. Joseph's man. Jordy McDonald takes the free, and he looks out and sees over in space on the far side is the team captain Andy Conway. Andy with the right foot fires it in, but it's sitting back in there is the corner back there. That's Conan Feary. Conan held it well, gets fouled and takes the free, moves it on quickly now, and Brandon Carey is on it, heading across the halfway line. Sola carries it forward. 3 green jerseys swarm in around him, so he stops, turns, gives it back there as far as Owen Robinson. Robinson lays it off here to the wing back as Cathal Kelly coming forward. Cathal, he's 1-on-1 here if he can get around his man, doesn't take him on, decides to go back, hold the possession, gives it back to Owen Robinson again. Robinson fisted ball across to Robbie Keegan. Keegan steps out across into the St. Joseph's half of the field, and the ball forward now as far as Colin Coleman. Coleman lays it back, and the ball drifted in. Goalkeeper's got to be careful, and he fired as well. Was coming left, and then just sees that he has a couple of teammates on his right hand side. One of them is the cornerback Brian Fitzgerald, and St. Joseph's struggling to get it out, but they're going to get a free here. The referee has his arm in the air. The advantage played, and Jake Gannon comes out. Jake gives it off as far as Ben McDonald. Ben has taken the return pass now and injects a little bit of pace into the situation as he comes forward. Nice ball laid off here, gathered by the full forward. That's Alan Conlon. Conlon back to the centre forward, Dean Slab, and Dean trying to get in on his right foot, needs a little bit of support, pops it back as far as Ben McDonald. McDonald has Daniel Keegan coming forward in support. Keegan, little ball inside with the right foot. A couple of St. Joseph players almost get in each other's way there, and good work there by the defenders there for Ballinagore. Win that possession back. Dangerous situation snuffed out there by the Ballinagore man, and a chance to come away now with Peter Reynolds. Peter trying to get by his man, bursts through, he's been fouled, decides just to take the free, stops playing. It's going to be a free for Ballinagore. This free just outside their own 45-metre line.
Yeah, St. Joseph's there again, just going up, trying to get that incisive ball. They need to hold on to possession a little bit more. They're playing against the breeze. The danger for that Ballinagore bringing is they're very incisive with their kicking and the running going inside.
Yeah, there's an opportunity here now for Cathal Kelly come forward. Cathal fouled as he was, he got the kick away, but he was under severe pressure. Did well there. He's looked on a couple of occasions, try and get inside into that St. Joseph's first line of defence. He did well going forward there. He was fouled on an opportunity. Tricky free. We'll see who'll take it. Will Thomas McDaniel's take it with the right foot? Would be more suitable to a left-footed kicker. Paddy Ennis was there looking at it as well, but
again, Ballinagore are moving with a lot more pace, a lot more action on the ball. They are with the breeze. St. Joseph's are just a little bit more lethargic on the ball. They are playing against the breeze, obviously, but they just need to be a little bit more patient and work their scores a little bit better.
5-1 as Tommy McDaniels is looking at this, and he's going to kick it probably from the 13-metre line. Inside of the right foot, makes no mistake, over the bar. A 1-point free, and the lead, it's just creeping up, Tom. 6-1, halfway through the opening half.
Yeah, 6-1, but with the 2-pointers, it's not as big as the lead as you think. You just need to, for St. Joseph, just need to settle themselves a little bit more, not panic, keep going through the routine, try win the kick out. There was a great kick out the last time there to Andy Scally, tend to get another one away and give themselves a platform to build going forward.
Yeah, Farrell drills this one low out into the centre of the court, but it's broken away from the St. Joseph's man, and it's picked up there by Dara Seary, and Dara sets up another attack. Tommy McDaniels had remained inside the 13-metre line there, has the ball here, but St. Joseph's not giving him room to settle himself to get a strike away, and he has to go back to Cathal Kelly. Cathal over across this side where Peter Reynolds is waiting for it. Peter looks up, right foot, it goes in first time into the corner where Paddy Ennis has come over out of the left corner over to the right, wins the possession into Robbie Keegan. Keegan steps around the tackle there from Noah MacDonald, fisted on as far as Owen Robinson. Owen just waiting to invite Dara Seary to come forward with it. Seary has it, experienced player, gives that one inside, nicely gathered by Colin Coleman. It's all very tight in there. Tommy McDaniels trying to jink and trying to get a little bit of space for himself. He does fire the shot in. It's dead. The goalkeeper is coming out. Gathered in there.
Yeah, Alan Farrell, a great save there. He started well. He kind of made a judgment to come. He doubled back. It was good field and a good shot away there by the
Cody Finan.
Cody Finan, yeah. But a good save there.
But danger not gone here now because Ballinagore on the attack again. Peter Reynolds, but tackled well there by the opposite number 9, that's Ross Elephant. Full back there, Dylan Drake has possession, and it's back now with Elephant again, and a chance now for St. Joseph to go forward
if they can use them.
Yeah, nice ball
Still
inside
the
the
far side.
Chance for Noah MacDonald to go forward, fisted, short ball inside, nice ball in from Jordy MacDonald. Can they create an opener? The chance for Dean Slavin. Slavin trying to get around on his right foot. That avenue shut down for him, but Joseph, don't panic. They have to come back to the Ballinagore 45-metre line where Ben MacDonald is coming forward. Ben fires it in. It's not going to go wide. It's hanging in the air. We can see the way the wind affects that one. The ball broken over onto the far side. Ballinagore man was there first for him, but 2 number 10s, Ben MacDonald. Ben tries to chip it across into the centre, intercepted now, and Colin Feary has a chance to get it away from the danger area for Ballinagore.
Yeah, green shoots for me there for St. Joseph. They're attacking well. They're just a little bit off at the moment. They are playing against the breeze. We have to give them that. But that was better from St. Joseph. But they did have lads over the right hand side that time that they could have used.
Yeah, they've turned over possession here again, and Dean Slavin now has a chance from just the edge of the old D as such, but straight into the midriff of Cathal Daly, and Cahill's clearance to nobody in particular. He's asking an awful lot there of his number 13, Colin Coleman. Colin just couldn't reach out, get that possession. So opportunity of a line ball here now that Andy Conway, the team captain, has the ball in his hand. It's just on Ballinagore's 45-metre line, looking around him, seeing what options are there. Goes short to his wing back partner, that's Daniel Keegan. Keegan into the centre he goes. Shifts it across to the right hand side where Noah MacDonald moves it on a little bit further over to that far side. This time Ben McDonald has possession. Ben looks up inside as far as Daniel Keegan again. Keegan back to McDonald, trying to create the open. They need to get it in a little bit closer to get the shot away, but they need to be patient. Just hold on to the ball. We're 19 minutes on the clock. 6-1 in favour of Ballinagore.
Yes, at this point of the game, though, they're after working it up into this area here. They're against the breeze. They're 6-1 down. They need to work the score, be patient.
Yeah. Dean Slavin, latest man on possession. He's centre back. Jake Gannon steps forward, gives it back to Slavin again. Slavin, dummy, trying to get away from his man here now. And from the edge of he pulls the trigger, fires it in. And yes, indeed, it's over the bar. Dean Slavin with the score.
Yeah, brilliant score there. Yeah.
Patience rewarded there, Tom.
If they're patient, the gaps will appear there. Their good men will get on the ball. They'll be able to see those gaps, go through them, get them over the bar. That's a good score against the breeze from Dean Slevin. Also a champion hurler this year as well with Castletown.
That's right. Kick out now again for Cahill Daly. Cahill right-footed, hangs it out. St. Joe's man going high there was Rossella, but it bounced nicely there for Thomas Conlon, who was reading the breaking ball. And now a chance for Ella to get right down the centre. Coming inside, steadies himself on the left foot, makes no mistake. It looks like London Bus, and Tom one comes along and another one straight after it.
Yeah, he was trying to pass it inside there looking for a score. He backed himself there on the left peg, and that was a good 2 scores in a row, as you say there, and that's the tonic that St. Joseph's needed.
Yeah, settling into this game. Cahill Daly is ready with the kick out. Cahill is going short this time, out as far as Luke Seary. Luke needs to come out, tackled high there, goes to ground. Referee sees nothing wrong with it, but good work there by the defender there. And eventually is picked up here by Cahill Kelly, but Cahill was fouled as he was coming down the line. Referee this time awards the free. The free is taken. And the Claffey now with a chance to come forward. And across his own 65-metre line, just turns around, gives it back to Dara Seary, and Seary heads across towards the terrace side here of TG Cusick Park. Looked like coming into the tackle there, but just continue to carry it. Andy Conway trying to close him down. Does eventually manage to stop his progress. Seary just holds the ball. McDaniel is there offering support here, and I think there's going to be an injury here for one of the Ballinagore men, but we'll see if he's able to continue going. McDaniels takes the possession. Free has been awarded. Ballinagore holding the possession, coming forward, and then Dara Seary just goes to ground. Just looking at Cahill Kelly. His tie is very heavily strapped. Tom looks like he's going to be replaced shortly, but they've taken the free, and Dara Seary has possession. All this over on the left side now. Kelly steps in, takes the possession. Now, let's see. What can he do? He goes across into the centre, has support in there. Robbie Keegan, little ball over the top to Kelly again. Kelly stopped there by Jake Gannon, holds the possession, gets it inside to Brandon Carey. Brandon with 2 defenders close to him, turns and comes back around, not being fouled. Referee allows the play to go on his back with Kelly again. Kelly, now he's going to have to take the shot on. He does take it on with the right foot, but unfortunately...
Yeah, he was unlucky there, Kelly. I think he signalled to me that he was having trouble there, but he was very good in that passage he played for Ballinagore. I hope he can try last an extra couple of minutes, because he's done well there in that passage he played there.
I see Jack Gannon, the number 27, is going to come in.
Yeah, obviously it's too much for him at the moment with his heavily strapped tie, but he did well in that passage he played there, and that's a big blow for Ballinagore.
Yeah, he had been attacking. He got a free, which resulted in a point for Tom McDonald earlier, but that time coming to nothing. And a chance for Alan Farrell, and Alan just across the 45-metre line. The ball hung in the air, gathered well by Owen Robinson. Robinson just holds the possession, gives it back to the man just introduced, Gannon. Gannon crossing the centre where Tommy McDaniels on the St. Joseph's 65-metre line holds the possession. Jake Gannon trying to close him down as McDaniels injects a little bit of pace into it. Runners going left. Needs a little bit of support over there. Gives it in as far as Brandon Carey. Carey, again, another experienced player. He loops around. Little bit of space here now. Can he get the shot away? He's gone around Jake Gannon and then pops it back out to the number 15. That's Paddy Ennis. Ennis goes inside. Ball gathered in there. Cody Fanan, and Fanan knocks it down. And it's a great chance there for Colin Coleman. With Colin
Yeah, but
look to the sky. But
that's twice two big high balls gone into Cody Fernand. He's won them. If he can get somebody in around him like they did there, obviously with more accurate shooting, he's a handful inside there, and that's an outlet for Ballinagore going forward for the second half.
Yeah, needed just a little bit of composure there. Number 13, Colin Coleman.
St. Joseph's need to get a hold on the kick out, so they're losing the midfield battle at the moment.
Yeah, breeze is difficult. Alan Farr, right footed, goes over the far side this time. Ball one over there again by Dara Siri. Siri lays it off quickly here now, and Tommy McDaniels is on the attack. Danger here for St. Joseph. Comes inside, goes to ground. Now, the initial foul may just have happened just outside of a large parallelogram, but it looks like where the referee is standing, he's...
Yeah, it was a foul, but I do think it was a little bit, if you can say, a little bit accidental. I don't think there was too much malicious in it. At least he disguised it, if so. But this will be an easy tap over for Tom.
Yeah, in fact, Thomas McDaniels is leaving it.
Actually,
Paddy Ennis is going to take it. But I think that might have been a yellow card for the team there from Andy Conrad, because there was danger. But the result does mean that Paddy Ennis tapped it over the bar. You know, it's first score in a little bit of time for Ballinagore, so they'll be happy with that. Just get that scoreboard taken. 4 between them, 25 minutes gone, 7 points to 3 in favour of Ballinagore. Andy Farrell, or Alan Farrell, out again on the 20-metre line. Short run out, right footed, coming this side, is spinning as it drops towards the 65. Ballinagore men go high, but they don't hold on to it. Ben McDonald stepped in and won that possession. Quick ball on towards Alan Conlon. Conlon now in front of his man. Jinx going to take him on, comes back inside. Support flooding forward here now for the men in green. Conlon with a nice ball in over the top, but well read there by Conan Feary. He came across, read the situation very well, and wins possession back for his side. A free out for Ballinagore. There's an opportunity there for St. Joseph's, but
but again, Ben McDonald did well to win the
breaking ball.
The breaking ball gave them platform to attack. Alan Conlon is playing well in there at full forward. Just a missed time pass, which can happen against the breeze, but St. Joseph will get great encouragement for the last 10 minutes they had.
They've turned the free over as well and have possession back again. Cross into the centre with Brian Keegan. Keegan looks up. Solon looking for somebody to make themselves available. Ben McDonald comes on the loop around. Being shouted there by Jack Gannon. All pop back here now. An opportunity for Andy Scally. Andy's been back in defence. Lays it off to Dean Slavin. Slavin comes forward with the fisted pass inside. Continues the run. He has possession again. Ballinagore filtering back. Just forcing St. Joseph to come back outside the 45-metre line. But they might create another opportunity here for Ben McDonald. Ben jinks inside. Pops the ball in. Keegan has it again. White jerseys all around. The ball has gone to ground. Referee sees nothing wrong. It is the Ballinagore men that mopped that up. That was Owen Robinson. The number 10 did very, very well. One possession for his side. Now Ballinagore try to get the numbers forward as Dara Siri takes on a couple of green jerseys. Fisted ball across to the far side. Siri is there available to take it again from his centre back there, Peter Deegan. And the ball eventually with David Keegan now. Keegan, team captain, pops it on as far as Peter Reynolds. Reynolds looks up. He's going long with it. Low ball in towards the inside line. Cody Fernandez. Yeah, Cody taking him on, just pops it back as far as Paddy Ennis. Ennis works it back as far as Brandon Carey. Brandon is outside the 40-metre arc. Fires this one in. Lovely score there for Brandon Carey. It's his first one, and it's a 2-pointer.
Yeah, but again, it was Cody Fernando won the early ball, slipped it back out to him. That's an inspirational score in a county final from a very good player, experienced player, Brandon Carey, who started well also. But I feel that Ballinagore are winning all their inside battles when the ball goes in. They're out front of the ball, to the ball. And that was a good score, 9-3.
Yeah, 28 minutes on the clock. This Clarksbar Junior 1 Football Championship Final for 2025. It is the men from Ballinagore who are in the lead. We did say before the game that it's probably a 5 or 6 point breeze, and Ballinagore 6 to the good at the minute. They have possession again from the kick out over on that far side. Inside with Peter Deegan. Deegan hugely experienced player in Ballinagore, do well to work it through the hands as Robbie Keegan now has a chance, and Robbie won't need an invite to come right down the centre. He'll carry it. Nice ball inside to Peter Reynolds, so made the run. Reynolds bounces off one tackle, tripped as he was coming in, goes to ground, and another opportunity for Ballinagore. Not sure whether the foul was inside or outside. Let's just see. Brendan Keenan, the referee, is.
Yeah, again, Ballinagore getting the ball, working it down nicely. St. Joseph just need to stop giving those silly fields away. These are simple tap overs for the free takers of Ballinagore.
Yeah, Tommy McDaniel is this time going to take it. I think it is a 2-point attempt here. No, inside is right. I've been told otherwise. I thought where he was standing when he moved back with the ball, he was outside the arc. Let's see.
He's outside the arc, but it's the D that he's actually outside.
My mistake. I'm on the wrong one. Good man. Thank you. Ooh. Just over the bar, I think it was, and it was a tricky one. I'm getting confused with the amount of arcs that's out there, Tom. So I stand corrected. A 1-point attempt, and just about scraped it over the bar, though. But it does push the lead out to 10-3, and into the last half minute or so.
And the issue here now is, if St. Joseph don't get a foothold in the midfield, I keep saying it, they're going to keep conceding scores there because Ballinagore are very good in attack at the moment.
Yeah. 1 minute of additional time is called because Dara Seary has won that kick out again. An opportunity here for Colin Coleman. Nice and patient. They'll get one more chance. Can they capitalise and get a score? The ball is fisted across here to Robbie Keegan. Robbie back now to Brandon Carey as Keegan continues in support. Carey just holds on to the ball. He's halfway between 65 and 45. St. Joseph defensive end looking for players to make the run away, and lucky then, and in fact he did give it away because it was good play there by Ross Elliott. Stepped in, one possession back, and now there's a chance for Jake Gannon to come forward. Jake, a young man, carries it forward at pace as Dean Slavin off his left shoulder. Slavin trying to get on his right side, gets away from Peter King. It's a long fisted ball inside. Oh, just over hit there, and Cathal Daly had to be careful. Cathal has no support there, and he does go short with it. Ballinagore would have been kicking themselves there because they had a great opportunity to get a score at the other end. And now, nice play from Dara Seary, fisted the ball into space and got onto it himself. He's been closed down over there by Andy Scally. Scally does well, but the referee has said we'll have no more because he's blown the half-time whistle. It's been a hugely entertaining Clarksbar Junior 1 football final. Tom Brown, 10 points to 3 for Ballinagore. But remember, there is a strong breeze here, and it's going to be in favour of St. Joseph in the second half.
Yeah, strong breeze, 10 points to 3. It's not a 10 points to 3 game in my eyes. St. Joseph's are well valued for being closer to Ballinagore in this game, but they just need to tidy up their play going forward. The green shoots for St. Joseph's are when they are getting forward, and they do play it well, they're very good in attack. I know that pass went astray there, but there was an opportunity of it. If he got that, there was a goal chance on. It's still not all lost for St. Joseph's, but you have to say Ballinagore in the first half, but they've been very composed. Their up front play is nice, and they're winning the battle in midfield, so that's encouraging for them. But all to play for going into the second half.
Yeah, and the big thing in this, Tom, in that opening half is the 3 2-pointers for Ballinagore, and that's really been the difference. That's why it's been, they push that lead out.
Yeah, Tommy McDonald's with the 2 of those 2-pointers, and Brendan Carey with the other one. Tommy, with his first score, was a 2-pointer. That was kind of a message to everybody that was trying to mark him, going saying, I'm not going to be marked too easily today. Great 2-pointer, nice, experienced, casual stroke on him. Paddy Ennis has played well. Brandon Carey is playing well. Robbie Keegan's incisive runs are causing problems. But that's all good with the wind. How are they going to react now without the wind? But I feel that if St. Joseph's are going to get back into this game early in the second half, they're going to have to sort out winning the ball, winning the breaks in midfield. That will give them a platform to kind of get a purple patch and get back into this game, because they probably will need a couple of 2-pointers. Ballinagore got 3. They will probably need a couple more at least to win this game, but I am not ruling out a goal for St. Joseph's either. They're attacking. They have a nice attacking unit there going forward. They're just being a little bit panicky at the moment, but those gaps will open up as the game slows down a bit. and they have the win then in the second half.
Yeah, all will be revealed in the second half. We're going to take a break. Myself and Tom from commentary here for a minute. Go to an ad break for our viewers at home. We'll be back then with some sideline analysis at halftime. But for now, we're going to take a break from the commentary.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
Yeah, it's half time here in the Clark's Bar Junior 1 football final, and direct from a cold and wintry St. Lomas this morning. I'm joined again now by Paul O'Donovan this time. And Paul, you know, myself and we're chatting about the game earlier, or how this game might pan out. It's panned out much as we thought. It would. Ballinagore shown a little bit more incisiveness, shall we say, and they have the target men taking their scores. Having said that, they played with a very strong breeze in that first half.
Yeah, well, obviously the wind dictated how the teams are going to set up here in the first half. And look, you know, St. Joseph's we're defending, we're against that wind. So Paddy Mullane obviously decided to play like both Jordy McDonald and Andy Scally, who were clearly back in defence. They're trying to limit the scores as much as possible. So Ballinagore had their work done to get any scores, but you could see that out of the 10 points they've got 3 2-pointers, you know, and that's huge in this game, you know. And the question coming into the second half already will be, do St. Joseph's have the players to kick 2-pointers? You know, it's very difficult. And you look, I think that Cody Fernand's working very well as a target man in there in the square.
Superb,
he's won the ball. Dylan Drake, you know, probably a little bit inexperienced or that, you know, he's having his hands full there. So Fernand's got a lot of ball, and he's laid the ball off to score to the scores. And you know, Ballinagore could have been further ahead. Yeah, they could have got the goal. I think it was Robbie Keegan early in the first few minutes had a goal chance side net. But you know, it's look, both teams will be, you know, Joseph will feel they're still in this game. That's the most important thing. Yeah. But they will have trouble getting, you know, 7 points back in that second half.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Owen, they were very one-dimensional, I felt, from St. Joseph's. You know, if it's not plan A, it must be plan A. Having said that, they almost got in for a goal chance themselves. Probably the wrong man at the right time. Is that fair to say? But it's just the way Ballinagore are using the ball just that little bit more cleverly, and probably have more targets, shall we say, than Joseph's.
Yeah, I suppose a couple of last pass and a couple of opportunities have probably killed Joseph's there. Ben McDonald was straight in and goals, just hand pass went over his head. But I think coming into the second half, patience is key for Joseph's. And
I agree.
I know we're talking about 2-pointers, but look, if they can control the pace and get balls to the shooters and make the right decisions, I think they'll get back into this game.
Yeah, and they just haven't probably got it to the shooters yet. You know, I mean, we talked about Young McDonald before the game. Hasn't really got into the game. Dean Slevin hasn't really got into the game because, as Paul said, they're probably in that more defensive mode. Paddy has them kind of set up to limit Ballinagore from the start, but Ballinagore probably should be more ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Look, and I suppose with the conditions, he probably had to drop Geordie back. But I'd be very confident now Geordie will probably push up into the forward line into the second half. They'll have to. And look, I suppose it has worked. Andy Scally has stopped a few important attacks there when Ballinagore looked like they might have had an overlap. But look, coming into the second half, you'd like to think Josephs will push forward and kind of fill in those gaps and have an opportunity to push
and
on.
Paul, something I think that's going to play a major part in this for the second half is fitness levels for both sides. Like Ballinagore have played a lot of football in that first half. It's whether they can continue to do that. You know, Josephs haven't had as much of the ball. They haven't been in as much possession as Ballinagore have. Ballinagore have run a lot of the ball so far. It's now going to be down to conditioning and indeed power and pace in this second quarter or in this third quarter, and particularly the second half.
Yep. Look, I think Michael Ennis will have his team, primed for this final to go all the way. Like Josephs came back into the game there late in the first half and had a couple of chances. A couple of passes went astray, but there was good interceptions too by Ballinagore. Conan Feary cut out a great ball.
He did, actually,
just when there was danger there for a goal. And also Owen Robinson's worked very hard in that first half of Ballinagore, up and down.
Bit of a loss with Carl Kelly going off.
Yes.
You could clearly see from the very start of the game he possibly shouldn't have started. He didn't look fit to me now, to be honest with you.
He didn't, but look, he tried his best. He had to come off. He was
made a great run,
attacking when he was taken off. Look, Joseph's, I would say, they were patient. They're going to have to be patient in the second half. Owen's right. It is about patience and, working the ball into the right area to get the scores, not panicking. We saw a couple of efforts there where they just,
lack of composure, maybe.
Yeah, you get that at this level, that's it. So whoever can show the most. But look, Tommy McDonald is still the huge player in the pitch there for Ballinagore. Quality. Dara Siri too. He's had a run with Westmeath. Those players stand out in a game like this, and Brandon Carey too. But look, Josephs have it all to do. A goal here would make a huge difference to Josephs. We haven't, and they've threatened there in the first half, so they'll be hoping to get one now in the second half.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Owen, it's not insurmountable with that breeze that's there. As Paul said, a goal would make a huge difference here, or even maybe a 2-pointer. It's just to get a fire in the belly kind of start for the second half.
I completely agree. And when you look at the fours that Joseph's had, like Jordy McDonald, Ben McDonald, there is scores.
Haven't
there.
really got into the game yet.
And look, I think we forget to mention the strength and depth in St. Joseph's, like the likes of Mikey Lynham and Dylan McDonald, Pierce Norris. They've great options.
Surprise Pierce Norris didn't start for me.
Yeah, and I suppose the way you look at it is that you're bringing on Pierce Norris, not going to drop the standard of the team.
Yeah, it's not going to.
I think that's going to be huge coming down to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, we have a very interesting second half here. It's not over yet, folks. It's 10-3, but it's still not all. It's still in the Meltmont here in TG Cusick Park. We'll be with you after the game, but for the moment, it's back up to Ray in commentary position up above.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shemerta Precast.
Welcome back to commentary position where we're waiting for both teams to come back out. It's unusual the referee is out first, Tom. Serious words going on in there because, one of these teams is going to go home disappointed. Barn, there is a prospect of a draw here, but hopefully we don't have that. But St. Joseph's first team out.
Yeah, one of these teams are going to play intermediate football next year.
Yeah.
And if you're judging by the first half, you'd say it'd be Ballinagore with the kind of possession football. But we have to remind the viewers that they are playing with a gale force breeze. Now, St. Joseph's have been in the final last year. They've been on the cusp of winning this championship for the last couple of seasons. They're 30 minutes to win it. I wouldn't actually be too disappointed at being 10 points to 3 down. I think if they can get a little bit of confidence going, a run of scores. You can see there in the first half, Dean Slevin got a lovely score. Jordan McDonald got the first score. Ross Olive got a good score there. They have plenty of 2-point shooters. I think Ben McDonald is actually playing very well for them there. I think he needs to be around the middle a little bit more. There's another guy there on the bench, Aaron McDonald. I'd like to see him coming in at midfield at some stage to give him a little bit of power there. But this game is all to play for. But like anything, if Ballinagore can get in top early and get a couple of scores and extend that lead, it'll drain the little bit of wind coming into the sails of St. Joseph. St. Joseph need to start well.
Don't think we've any changes. Just looking quickly at the teams that come out of the dressing room. We're back in position. Brendan Keane is over there in the centre. 2 number 9s, Peter Reynolds and Ross Elliff, are out there ready for the ball to be thrown in. Referees are checking that all players and officials are back in their required positions, and we're ready. And up it goes. Ball gathered first time by Ross Elliff. Ross takes it, carries it forward, right, and then has a player on the run. It's the number 12, Brian Keegan. Keegan just dropped the ball at a crucial time, runs into a brick wall there. He's forced back outside the arc. It goes here now. An opportunity here for Ben McDonald. He thought about taking the shot on, then it eventually is fired in by Andy Scally. It's a dangerous ball, hops inside and hops over the bar.
Yeah,
it's a two-pointer. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No one touched it.
I've never actually seen a 2-pointer scored that way before, but with the hop. But it was a 2-pointer, a great ball in, great play inside by the full forward there that kind of held off with his little bit of strength. But that's the tonic that St. Joseph win. And the 2-pointers that I was talking about at half time, there's one of them.
Yeah, Carl Daly with the kick out, managed to squeeze it out, and it's picked up very well by Owen Robinson. Owen soaring across the pitch. Pops it back into his full back end at Claffey. Enda needs a bit of support there. Has it. And all is with Dara Seary. Dara forced to go back towards his own goal. Gives it over to the cornerback, Conan Fear. And Conan sees there's a little bit of room over on the other side for the other cornerback. That's Luke Seary. Luke carries it across the halfway line. Nice ball. Down the line it goes. Trying to find Paddy Ennis, but Paddy doesn't get it because the other number 15, Andy Scally, fresh from getting that 2-pointer for his side in the opening minute or so of the half. Back defending for his side there, and they have possession back there now, and they're coming out with Brian Fitzgerald. Quick ball. Move forward there. Tackle coming in there, and the Claffey commits the foul, just slows the whole thing up. But Joseph don't stop for the free, and they have the possession very, very close to the sideline over on the far side. Then the ball is fired in first time as far as Alan Conlon. Conlon, is he going to take the 2-pointer? He rifles it in. The goalkeeper's got to be careful, and it is indeed 2-pointer.
Yeah, Amanda was very good in the first half. Alan Conlon, without getting the reward for it, that's a brilliant 2-pointer there. Nicely stroked over the bar. And all of a sudden it's 10 point to 7.
Yeah, it's game on now, very much so. Cathal Daly needs to make sure he finds it. His target from this kick out. We see the number 15, Andy Scally. He's out around the centre. You know, he's filling space out there. The kick out is fired over the far side. It's a great catch by Owen Robinson. Went high, one ball, claimed it, gives it quickly into Robbie Keegan. Robbie driving forward, pops it off to Tommy McDaniels. Tommy with Brandon Carey making the run inside. McDaniels, huge pace here, opens up a little bit, goes to ground, needs support there. He had it there from Paddy Ennis, but he decides to hold the possession now. Just slows it down. Good defending there by St. John's. Looked like they were in trouble there for a second, but McDaniels was shut down, and he's on the ball again. Takes it from Owen Robinson. McDaniels cross into the centre. He comes. Robbie Keegan is there now. Robbie right in the centre of the pitch, just outside the 45-metre line. Puts it back, and it's gathered there by Conan Feary. Conan just left-footed, puts it across where there's room again on that far side. Jack Gannon that was involved there. The ball is on the ground and it's turned over, and eventually a foot comes in there as the St. Joseph's man was about to take it in. Tom, I think maybe from our position here in the commentary, we don't realise how the strength of that breeze.
Yeah, strong breeze there, but Paddy Mullin had a job to do at half time and whatever team talk he's given so far has worked.
Yeah, and they've gone route one inside here, and the shot comes in. Oh, there's a chance for Ross Elliff there. He's gone inside. And Tom, another factor that has to be factored in here as well is the strength of the sun.
Yeah, strength of the sun there. That was good play by Ross Elliff. Gathered the ball. He probably was forcing it going for a goal. He had a man on his outside to keep the scoreboard ticking. But Ballinagore will see what they're made of now in the second half.
Yeah, great.
Their running capability fast through the lines is what we're going to be looking for them, because they're not going to be able to get those 2 pointers they got in the first half.
Yeah, but Peter Reynolds dragged that ball forward. He had looked like half a stream sound hanging out of him as he was going up the field, but he did well. Moved it on to Brandon Carey. Brandon gets fouled, and just maybe a chance just for Ballinagore just to settle things down here now. Free on the 45 is going. Tommy McDaniel has the ball in his hand. There's an injured player out there. Because Brandon Carey. There's a yellow card being flashed. I'm not sure who it was to.
Yeah, great strength shown there by Dara Seary going along with the ball. And again, much like St. Joseph's in the first half, an early score here for Ballinagore just to settle themselves down after half time. There's coming up to 5 minutes being played. St. Joseph got the 2 opening scores with the 2 pointers. They just want to respond now and keep their scoreboard ticking against the breeze. But it's that fast run and play from the midfield and breaking the line that they're going to have to revert to, and they're well capable of doing that.
Yeah, Brandon Carey's in a little bit of bother out there. Looks like it'd be a hand injury. Getting a bit of treatment there. Tommy McDaniels is on the 45 with the ball at his feet. I think the referee issued a yellow card. I'm not sure there.
Yeah, it seems to be in quite some, whether it's a dislocated thumb or something like that. He seems to be in bother with it and trying to manoeuvre it himself.
Yeah, they won't want to lose him. Saying that Brandon is an experienced player. He can kick the 2-pointer in the first half, and he's been playing out around the centre forward position.
Yeah, very experienced player, and if it's only a hand injury like that, he'll continue. It'll be very hard to get him off the pitch.
Yeah, still in a little bit of discomfort though. Tommy McDaniels has the ball in his hand. Paddy Ellis making the run inside him. McDaniels looks around. Probably going to hold the possession. He is indeed. Comes back there as far as his full back end. The Claffey end decides to go on to join the attack. Gone inside McDaniels. Trying to get away from Jordy McDonald. McDonald does well to force him over to that right hand side. Tommy puts on the brake. Slaps inside. Nice skill. Close control. And then ball is in over the top. Owen Robinson has it. Robinson needs to recycle it. Back out the field it goes. Again, patience required here, Tom. They don't need to shoot too soon. Just hold that ball, work it in, get the right man on the end of it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Dara Seary, latest man in possession. He gives it on now to Robbie Keegan, and Robbie will charge forward. Comes inside, lays it off there to the fullback, Claffey again. Claffey looked like he was fouled, holds the possession. Back to Keegan, and Keegan back to Seary again. Very lateral as far as Ballinagore are concerned, but Dara Seary then with the right foot just launches one in. A high one. It's a dangerous one. It's not who's on the breaking ball.
And for me, that was the second occasion Alan Farrell came out and actually dealt with the situation. That's not a difficult ball in to contain.
Yeah, free out awarded to St. Joseph's. They haven't moved out. Noah MacDonald combining with Ben, and eventually that man Andy Scally, who's been very influential, gives it across now to Thomas Conlon. Conlon goes further left, where the other corner forward is Jordy McDonald. Jordy lays it in quickly inside to Alan Conlon. Conlon, fresh from 1-2 pointer. He'll fancy this again. He's getting tackled hard, and he's dispossessed there. Ballinagore pick it up and coming out, and then going to ground there is the cornerback Luke Seary. Luke goes to ground, gets the free out.
Yeah, quite fortuitous there. I think number 2 coming out with the ball there.
Sub coming on here. Thomas Conlon, the cornerback, number 2, has been replaced. He's going to be replaced by the number 20.
They're going like for like with number 20 Norris coming in on Cody Fernand, just to give him a little bit more strength up against Cody Fernand, who has been playing well there.
Yeah, free out taken there by Peter Reynolds. He finds Paddy Ennis again. Paddy tries to get inside the tackle there. 2 defenders chasing him back as he reverse ball inside as far as McDaniels. McDaniels tackled by Gannon, trying to get away from a good defending there by the centre back. Doesn't let him pass, and McDaniels then spins around and off his left foot gets the shot in there.
Yeah.
Quality score from Thomas McDaniel.
He really had to engineer that score about 2 or 3 times there. He was creative in his footwork and a great left-footed score over. That's the first point of the second half for Ballinagore, and that's what they needed. 11 points to 7.
Yeah, it took them almost 9 minutes to get it, but the class of Tommy McDaniel's telling there off his left foot into the breeze, fires it over the bar, and the kick out is already gone and broken down, but well won on the break. An injury there to...
Yeah, he was brave going in for the ball there.
Referee just checking on his welfare, making sure that no head injury or anything like that. Checking with the St. Joseph's man. He looks like he's okay, just getting a drink of water. The ball is in the hand there of Andy Scally over there on the 45-metre line. Referee is happy, so he'll signal for St. Joseph's to start the play again. Scally has it, he's pleading, looking for somebody to make a movement. Then he goes back into the centre. Andy Conway was alert to it, and Andy has it inside his own 40-metre line, gets it out, squeeze it out, but bravery there from Scally again. That ball was about to be gathered there by Ballinagore, and then to kick it in. Route 1 was well read in there by Enda Claffey, and Enda with the right foot over to the far side for Peter Reynolds in a little bit of space. Reynolds, they'll need him carrying ball forward. He's about to be closed down over there by Dean Slavin. 2 big strong men. Ball given back inside where Colin Coleman has it. Now Robbie Keegan coming into a little bit of space. Can he get forward with it? Comes right across the pitch. Stops. Just slows it right down. Back to Dara Seary again. Seary about to be closed down there by Brian Keegan, but Seary just getting away from him. The corner back. Luke Seary is gone on the run. He doesn't use him because he's found the corner forward. That's Colin Coleman. Coleman now finds Seary. Seary, nice ball inside. Fernandez inside, breaks inside him, but Pierce Weir Norris gets it. He's on his knees in there, but he does well to hold that possession and find a teammate.
Yeah, that's exactly what Pierce would have wanted. The first 50-50 battle, he's won it there. That'll give him great confidence. I think he's injured his shoulder in the process as St. Joseph's come forward here.
Yeah, Noah McDonald, Route 1, he goes into the sun. It's a high ball, but it's a little bit just too much on it. It's gone out over the end line.
Yeah, again, St. Joseph's just fallen into the trap in the last couple of minutes of trying to force it a little bit. They're better off working it up the pitch, getting it into their scoring zones. 11 points to 7 with 11 minutes to go. They still need, obviously, to get 4 more points, but they need to keep that scoreboard ticking. Ballinagore will be quite happy at the moment.
Yeah, weather that initial storm there, the 2-pointers, and getting one back of their own here now. And Cathal Daly with the kick out, right-footed. Low trajectory out there, broken down straight to Dara Seary. He was awake to the breaking ball, gets possession for his side, and he takes it forward. Nice play from the big midfielder, being tackled well there, but being fouled by Ben McDonald. Seary holds the possession, gives it back into his midfield partner Peter Reynolds. Reynolds from a standing position, trying to get away there from Brian Keegan, but Keegan gets the tackle in, and then Brandon Carey steps in to add his support to it, and Carey Sola's left as Robbie Keegan coming on the loop. Dara Series over there on the far side if they want to use him.
Yeah, 2 men have been playing well for Ballinagore, Dara Seary and Peter Reynolds. They've been very good 2 guys midfield there. Ballinagore just playing slow football again. They're playing against the breeze in this half. They're the 4 points up. They just want to keep the clock running down, keeping possession.
Yeah, Robbie Keegan though has a chance now to get it on to Peter Reynolds, heading to the 45, draws the tackle in there, does well. The ball broken down. That man, Andy Scally, there again to add his support and gets a foot in and gets possession back. And now Jake Gannon has a chance to break down the line. Jake fouled as he was coming away, but good strength from the young man as he moves it forward. As far as he's centre forward, Dean Slavin. Slavin has Joseph's break at pace here. Nice little ball in over the top, but there was a slip there, but it might still work out because Slavin has it again. Slavin with the shot and Slavin with the score.
Yeah, good and bad play there by Dean Slavin. He did well to create the chance, give a bad pass, got away with it, picked it up again, checked themselves and got a great score. That was a very good score from Dean Slavin there.
Yeah, 11-8, 13 minutes on the clock. Cathal Daly signalling for his teammates to go wide. Kicking into the breeze here now. It's an important kick. Every one of these are. Hangs it up in the air. Owen Robinson does well. Gets one handed of it. Picked up on the break by Ross Elliff. Elliff goes into a tackle from Dara Seary. Great strength from Seary there. Dispossesses the St. Joseph's man. Robbie Keegan is there to pick up the breaking ball. And They have it just slow to get away, and Robbie Keegan over to the far side it goes, just putting Jack Gannon under a little bit of pressure, but Jack kept his eye on the ball, did well to hold it, and now Peter Deegan comes out across his own 65 with the ball, has Gannon in support over on that far side. Remember, he was introduced in place of Cathal Kelly, and he's still carrying it forward. Down that far side they go. Ball back in now. Brandon Carey takes it on the loop, trying to inject a little bit of pace into it well, but St. Joseph's well set up. No gaps there so far, so Brandon tries to go right, but no luck there either, so instead he comes back to the centre where Gannon has it again. Peter Deegan makes himself available for it and just holding the possession. Breeze, if anything, getting stronger. Sky is getting darker here now, and tackle here from Dean Slevin coming in on Conan Feary, but Feary as well gets it away to Keegan or to Deegan, and now there's a chance for Robbie Keegan to get forward. Looking for players to make a run one side or the other. He has Owen Robinson in space over here on this side. He comes up. Fanan in fact, that's Peter Reynolds in there. Reynolds does very well because he's had his jersey tugged. Robinson has it in on the end line. It's very
that man, Andy Scally.
Yeah, there's a danger here. The ball is fisted out, and Noah MacDonald is back there, but Noah kicks it, I think, off. It goes off, I think, off the attacker there. We're waiting for a signal.
It has to be a 50. It has to be
not
50.
Sure.
But Andy Scally is absolutely playing a remarkable game there. He's marked out number 15, but he's everywhere for St. Joseph's there. Inspirational performance so far by them. And two changes now coming on for St. Joseph's. Mikey Lynham and Aaron MacDonald are coming on.
Yeah, 17, number 18. The ball has been... the number 17 is Aaron MacDonald. He's coming in and replaced with Brian Keegan. Two switches halfway through the second half, but the kick out is gathered very well by Brandon Carey. Brandon goes high, gets the mark and keeps the possession and move it across to the far side. Dara Seary is available to take that ball. Thought about going forward, gets a call to come back as far as Conan Feary if he wants to use him instead. He goes in as far as Peter Deegan. Deegan on now to Cody Fanan. Cody, a little bit of space there. Open up in front of him, he carries it forward. Pulled to the ground, yes, he went to the ground there where he signals exactly what happened. Tommy McDaniel is immediately on this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Tommy does here now against the breeze. Whether he's looking for it short. He's looking for it short.
Yeah, no one available, no one making the run, so he's on the St. Joseph's 45. Will he just...
He could be forced into going for this.
Yeah, goes short over to the far side. Tussle over there, but Ballinagore have possession. Man goes to ground. The referee has signalled the free. Not really much gain of ground either because it's closer to the 40-metre arc, but he is sub coming in.
Yeah, David Keegan, who was left out of the side, is coming in. It's just outside the arc this for Tommy McDaniels. He will have to go for this one. He did well there to gain himself an extra 10 yards there with a short pass.
Yeah, Colin Coleman makes his way off. David Keegan.
He's well able to kick these if he goes for it.
Kicking into the teeth of a breeze here now, and it is stiff enough breeze. Right footed. Oh, it's a lovely kick. Fabulous kick. 2-pointer, another 2-pointer.
Yeah, that was a vital 10 yards he got himself there with the short pass, won the free, and then outside of the boot. Quality score from a quality player.
Back to a 5-point lead, 13-8 in favour of Ballinagore. The clock's at 18 minutes, just about gone. As Alan Farrell fires this one over this side for substitute introduced. Mikey Lynham goes high, gets the possession, takes it quickly inside, and he's gone to take the return pass. Looks around him. Little ball in over the top. There's a little bit of space here now for the midfielder Ross Elliff going forward. Back to Lynham again. Lynham comes into the tackle, stands, turns, kicks the shot. Oh, unfortunately just gone to the right and wide. It would have been a great introduction from the sub there, Mikey Lynham.
Ross Elliff has been playing well there in the middle field. Noah McDonald has gone off there. He's going to be a loss in centre midfield there. But Aaron McDonald's come on. He'll give them a little bit of strength there. With just over 12, 13 minutes to go, St. Joseph's need every score now.
Yeah, Cathal Daly knows the importance of every one of these frees. Into the breeze, he fires a low one, but most important is he finds a teammate, and that's Dara Seary. Wins the possession. He's about to be shut down by Elif. Gets away from Elif. A good play from Seary. Still drives forward. Robbie Keegan is there to take it from him. And Brandon Carey coming off the shoulder, but Keegan holds the possession. Owen Robinson is there now, and it's back now with Brandon Carey. Robinson trying to make himself available on the loop around. Brandon carries it forward. As Robinson carrying on his run inside. He's on the possession. Carries it inside. Gets Reynolds, who turns right-footed. Lovely score from Peter Reynolds. And no more than the man deserved. He's been excellent throughout this game for his
but
side.
the man there is going unnoticed on Robinson. He's working very hard there down the left-hand side. Probably he gave in a good ball for the half-goal chance that they had a couple of minutes ago there. He got on the ball there, made a good effort, good hand pass in. That was a great score from Peter Reynolds.
Yeah, kick out again for Alan Farrell. Dean Slabin trying to make himself available down this side because it looks like he is going to fire this side instead. It's into the centre. Good kick out there because it's straight into the midriff of Aaron McDonald. And Slabin is on it now, and it's in over the top to Mikey Lynham. Lynham being tracked there by David Keegan. Lynham just steps down and he tries to play a ball in as far as Dean Slabin coming on the run inside, but it's intercepted, and Ballinagore have it again, and it's that man, the ever experienced Enda Claffey. Claffey combining there with Conan Feary, trying to get away from a couple of St. Joseph men, and Brandon Carey spins and gets away from two of them, and then a nice fisted pass on to Enda Claffey, takes three St. Joseph players out of it. He comes back inside, and ball is across the centre with Cody Fanan. Cody with the number 17 on his back comes through the tackle, drops the ball. Time to go back and get him back, and the ball eventually fired over here to Jack Gannon. Jack was over on the right hand side for a long time in this game, but he switched across to the left. They have it here now again with Siri trying to get away there from Brian Fitzgerald, holding the possession. Owen Robinson, big tall young player, playing very, very well. Has yet to get on the scoreboard, but he's got through a mountain of work here now, as has Cody Fanan. Fanan back to Robinson again. Robinson, as the clock ticks away, 21 and a quarter minutes gone. Enda Claffey, what a servant he's been to the Ballinagore side.
Yeah, this is the point of the game where it's hard for the team that's chasing it to push out fully and get the ball. Ballinagore is so good on the ball, holding on to possession. They have a great game plan set up by Mickey Ennis there. They're all playing to the one tune. A guy there that you mentioned there a couple of times, Enda Claffey, he's having a fantastic game there, full back. He's been ever a tough cookie, the 31-year-old. Brandon
Carey, ball in his hand, looks around him and then fires it. What a lovely ball inside. Bounce off David Keegan, but it works out nicely because Conway McDaniels was there in support. McDaniels with 3 green jerseys coming around him. Just shows all his experience. Back now to Brandon Carey. And McDaniels is there if he needs him. He does. Tommy does very, very well and gets the ball. There was a late tackle on him there, but it's back now with Brandon Carey. Brandon, route one, because Peter Reynolds is battling there. The ball is not going to go to hand, so it is going to come back now. There's going to be a card here for Jake Gannon, I think. Now let's see. Referee is having a long word with him. I think he blocked the run there of Tommy McDaniels, but certainly the Ballinagore bench right down there beside it, they called the referee's attention to him. Now let's see what colour is the card going to be. It's a yellow one for the number 6.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there, to be honest. I don't like seeing guys getting the black card for that kind of. But if you're looking at the game now with 8-9 minutes to go, St. Joseph's need the next score.
Yeah, Cody Fanan takes the ball from Tommy McDaniels, gives it back to McDaniels there as he slipped and was put under a little bit of pressure, but McDaniels showing all his experience getting away from Gannon. He knows he can't foul him again at this stage. Tommy just holds the possession, lovely little ball inside, but that man Robinson, he's been absolutely outstanding, got through a mountain of work here, and Robbie Keegan now with a chance to come forward. Robbie goes into the tackle, steps away from it, has Robinson there in support, and Robinson with a fisted ball in, and then the Claffey is there available, and Keegan is on the run again, takes it an inside to Dara Seary inside the arc, doesn't take the shot on, gives it on to Reynolds, and on the loop comes Brandon Carey outside the arc with a nice fisted ball inside, open created here. That was David Keegan. One click, there was a pull back on the Ballinagore man, but Dara Seary puts the right boot through. That one is high, is coming across the front of the goal. It's not going to go wide. The goalkeeper, Alan Farrell, is going to keep it in play and try and set up a quick attack. Dean Slevin is in space down the line here in front of it. You can get it to him quickly. 24 minutes in the clock. 14 points to 8. Good tracking back there with nice control there as Daniel Keegan almost lost it there. Dylan Drake was there to hold that possession. Now St. Joseph's have Andy Conway, team captain. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, the problem with Joseph's attacking is all of their good players up front are all defending so deeply, so they're getting it's too long of a distance for them to get up front.
Yeah, but Dean Slevin is going to come in with
Yeah, but it's leading them to be having to force the ball rather than have Dudley McDonald stay up front forward that can knock the ball into. He's trying to track from the half back line all the way down, and he's behind the ball instead of ahead of it.
Yeah, there was good play under the crossbar there by Cathal Daly. He had to stretch every inch that he had over there to keep that one out of the net. And the chance now for Ballinagore as Tommy McDaniels continues right in, being closed down, gets away from them and comes forward. And great composure from McDaniels. Content to clip the point, Tom, at a crucial stage in the game. Might have steadied himself and had a shot at the goal, but shows his experience, takes the point, and it's a 7-point lead now.
Yeah, I don't need to nail on the point how good of a player Tommy McDaniels is there. Showed all his experience, and that's all you want from him is coming forward, not keep the scoreboard ticking, because St. Joseph's are struggling in attack now because there's so many defenders.
Yeah, Daniel Keegan fouled over there as he tried to get possession for his side, and Andy is listed at corner forward, but he's done most of his work back in defence there. Needs to push himself back forward here now, but opportunity to get that ball in towards the full forward there, Alan Conlon, with great defending there, and Jack Gannon has possession over on the far side now as he steps inside one tackle into Seary, quickly through the hands here, and well taken at pace there by that man Owen Robinson fisted ball inside. Pierce Norris Weir does well to go higher, and he was fouled there as he stretched his arm up there. Get the possession, free is taken quickly, and Jake Gannon is on the attack. It's crucial time for St. Joseph. They need to get a score, but good defending over there by Dara Seary, but commits the foul on Daniel Keegan. Free for St. Joseph's.
Yeah,
up on
St. Joseph's need to play a hurry up football now. They're being too lethargic getting the ball going up front. They need to move the ball instead of carrying the ball. They need to move the ball quickly through the lines if they're going to have any chance to get back into this game. But you have to say, with 4 or 5 minutes to go, Ballinagore have been excellent in this junior final.
Philip Reynolds replaces Peter Reynolds, 18 for 9 on the Ballinagore side. But we'll watch this. Free is going to be taken from the ground. Peter Reynolds put in a huge shift for his side. He makes his way off. This ball fired in, a dangerous ball. Up they go, batted down, and on the breaking ball, Robbie Keegan gets it. Crucial. And Robbie was fouled there as he was trying to get away. A referee might even have brought that ball a long way forward. In fact, he is going to do exactly that. So it's a chance just for Ballinagore to settle things down. Great play there by the team captain. He was on alert as that ball came in. It was a dangerous ball, was broken down, and he put the body on the line, won the free for his side. And a man who's also put in a huge shift today is Dara Seary. He's on the ball here now, and he's taking it back from Keegan. Nothing available on his right, so he just comes back to the left here, and a chance for Conan onto Jack Gannon. Ball is inside, but Seary, he's a hugely talented footballer. Has been part of a Westmeath panels down through the years, and certainly he's shown that ability and quality here today. Given on here now to Philip Reynolds. Philip holds the ball on now to Keegan. Keegan again, foul there as he was trying to get the ball away, but the referee doesn't see it there, and it's picked up by Stream Sounds, Pierce Weir Norris, and then the foul committed and a chance for Andy Scally. But it needs to be quicker. They're 7 points down. The clock is into the last 2 minutes or so. They need to get that ball in there. It is eventually fired in this time. Nice ball. And Peter.
He's technically not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. It was Peter Deegan that committed the foul again.
It's going to be brought back from the free there, but I just see Andy Scally on his hunkers in the middle of the field for St. Joseph. He's been absolutely excellent today, but he's done a lot of his work between the 250s. I would like to see him push up a little bit more for the next 5 minutes and try to give them the same inspiration in the forward line.
Yeah, we're into the last minute or so. There will be 3 or 4 minutes of additional time. This free is on the 13-metre line. They're going to go low first. Fired in there with Jordan McDonald together, but I think everybody for Ballinagore, there was everyone in there bar the Bower on there to keep that one out of it, but they do knock it out for the 45, and clock is just ticking away here. Mikey Lynham, he's going to take this 45, and really at this stage probably Tom needs to drop it in. Instead they're going to go short. The extra return pass.
Yeah, and it was too short.
Too short.
Possibly should have tapped that ball up from Jordan McDonald over the bar and then work on trying to get in your score. They're losing a lot of time here now, trying to get the same score that they had an opportunity to get a couple of seconds ago.
3 minutes of additional time is the call as Lynham takes the pass back and then fires it in high into the square. There's a lot of bodies in there. Ball broken. Who has it? Owen Robinson is the man that comes away with it. Great play. He's put in a massive shift for his team. He hasn't got on the scoreboard, but my God, he's been all over the field and won that dangerous ball as it dropped in from Mikey Lynham and gets the free out. 3 minutes of additional time as the traffic gets us underway. 2 experienced players in the heart of that Ballinagore defence is Enda Claffey and Peter Deegan. They combine there and Ballinagore have the possession. They're going in the wrong direction at the minute, but Luke Seary then just gets it over into the corner. He'll continue on his run, and then Enda Claffey pulled to the ground, and this is all playing into Ballinagore's hands, Tom, into the last 2.5 minutes, so they'll be in no hurry to get this.
Yeah, Ballinagore have been very, very good today, all over the field, but they're very good at holding on to the ball, which is forcing St. Joseph to foul them. They're not spilling the ball away from themselves. They're all very confident on the ball, and Enda Claffey there again, as we spoke about, has been excellent today, but he's shown all his strength there and a little bit of experience in winning a free there.
Yeah, I think the free taken from the wrong position or too slowly, so the referee is blowing the whistle. Is he going to throw it up over there? Let's see. Yeah, he's looking for 2 players. Throws it up high. Brandon Carey is back there, and Brandon steps in, wins possession, then loses it. The ball breaks. Picked up there by St. Joseph's again. And the chance now for Jordy McDonald. He needs to get it into the danger or get a score. It's kicked in high. It's a dangerous ball. Cathal Daly's underneath it. Don't know.
That looked in.
Looked in, certainly. Let's see what's the call. In. I think, yeah, he went for the flag, certainly from what you can see. Umpires.
Great ball in by Ben McDonald there.
No, what's going to happen? I think he is. He is going to put the flag.
It did look in fairness, from here now. I know we're trying to get it on the replay here, but it did look in, and that's got 4 points in it. We've a minute to go. Have we a dramatic finish?
Yeah, we haven't had a goal right throughout the game. Donald Barrett at number 19 has just replaced Paddy Ennis. Cathal Daly was one of those balls. He couldn't do much about it. It came under. There was a lot of bodies in around him. It was bouncing in and out around the square, and eventually was forced over the goal line. Goal for St. Joseph's. 15-1-8. Cathal Daly high out, broken. Who's on the break? It's a crucial possession here. Gathered very well by Alan Conlon. Conlon, ball inside here now. On the attack again. Ball is, it's a cross. Another possession was gathered back by Ballinagore. Almost one for St. Joseph, and the corner back is Conan Fear, and Conan Fear did very, very well. And Ballinagore just get it away from the danger. It's very close to the sideline. Jake Gannon picks it up. Jake steps away from a tackle there from the Ballinagore man. Ballinagore just prepared to commit the fouls out there. And Joseph's, as we go into the additional time added was 3 minutes. It's gone. The 3 minutes is over. They need 2 scores. Need to get one in as quick as they can. But it's not going to get time because the referee, Brendan Keena, has blown the full-time whistle. And joy for Ballinagore.
Yeah,
They're champions of the Clarksbar Junior 1 Football Championship for 2025 on a final scoreline of 15 points to 1 goal and 8 points for St. Joseph's. What a meteoric rise has been through the junior ranks for the men from Ballinagore. They were Junior 2 champions last year. Now here they are, Junior 1 champions, and well worthy of winning the town.
Absolutely, yeah, they were well worthy of their win there today. I do think the scoreboard 15 points to 1-8 it should have been a lot closer in my eyes, but Michael Ennis's job that he's done with Ballinagore, his home club there, he could have probably went and trained other couple of teams there. He stuck around. He's after bringing them from Junior 2 all the way up to intermediate ranks there now. And honest to God, I think from this, what I've seen today of Ballinagore, I would be very, very impressed there. Their management of the ball, the way they're coached, their star players turned up. You can go through the whole line of Enda Claffey, Peter Deegan, Robbie Keegan, Darcy Sear, Peter Reynolds, Owen Robinson, my favourite actually on the day, Tommy McDaniels, Brandon Carey, all absolutely fantastic performances. They were just, in my eyes, a little bit more physical, a little bit more cooler on the ball. If you're St. Joseph's, it's a day of what ifs. I do not think that they are 4 points a worse team than Ballinagore. I just thought they played with a little bit of inexperience, as you would with young players. But they can be proud of their efforts this year. It's their second final. It's tough to lose 2 finals in a row, but there's plenty of potential within the St. Joseph's group there. And you showed at the end there that if they had a little bit more luck, if they had a little bit more, I suppose now it's in front of the goals, they could have been closer. But Ballinagore, for me, from the first half right throughout the second half, they were just excellent. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's all about Ballinagore. It's their day. And they had the jewel in the crown with Tommy McDaniels. 10 points in total of their 15. Just proves how talented he is and how crucial he's been to them. You mentioned it earlier on that it was part of getting him back down to his hometown club and by moving up into Junior 1. And, he certainly, proved that effort to get him back to his hometown club was certainly worth the effort.
Yeah, but for the Westmeath Championship alone, just to be able to see the likes of Tommy McDaniel out on the field playing for a Westmeath club again, with probably a potential, maybe, I don't know, to go back into the inter-county setup. He's the type of player that brings the crowd. There's a great crowd again here today in Cusack Park. Fantastic Westmeath footballer, fantastic Ballinagore man, and he showed up today as you want with all your star players. But I have to say that the Ballinagore team can be very happy all over the field. Enda Claffey, excellent in the back line there. He's a tank. Darragh Siri, Peter Reynolds, they won the midfield battle, hands down in my eyes. Brandon Carey could have went off there. I think he probably dislocated one of his fingers. He's stuck with it, stuck on the field. A mention to the number 5 that went off, Cottle Kelly. I hope he recovers well for the Leinster Championship because he was playing well before he went off. But as a whole, if you're looking as a neutral in a Ballinagore after where they've been for the last couple of years, you would say they are on the rise. I know they may have a few older men on the team. Stick around, boys, because you're well able for intermediate.
Yeah, congratulations to Ballinagore. They're the Clarksbar Junior 1 football champions for 2025. We're going to take a break here from the commentary. For now, we'll leave viewers at home with some highlights, but we'll be back with some post-game analysis down on the sideline. But for now, from myself and Tom Brown on commentary, we're going to say goodbye, but we'll be back. Stay with us for the presentation. We'll be back for it.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusack Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clarksbar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusack Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
In 2 years, recording the scoreboard here. Thanks, Mick. The stewards, week in, week out, they ensure the safety of people here in TEG Cusick Park. Thank you very much. The ground staff, difficult time of the year to keep the place good and in proper condition for football and hurling. Thanks to the ground staff here. Our scanners, programme setters, the shop, the cuppa hut, all contribute to the enjoyment of our patrons here. ERV will bring our games throughout the globe and do it so professionally. We are really are indebted to ERV and Marina. To the CCC, who organise our games from the very beginning to the end of the year, particularly John and Keith for the Trojan work that they have done. Okay, that's me finished with my thanks. We'll get back to today's game. Sadly for St. Joseph's, your wait goes on. You have a lot of agony over the last few years. Don't give up. Don't lose the faith. Keep on working. You're a fine team. Your day in the sunshine will come. Today you couldn't begrudge it to Ballinagore. They have had a fantastic year from the very beginning. Junior 2 champions last year, Junior 1 champions this year. 2 years gone from junior to intermediate football. Huge congratulations, Ballinagore. Well done. I'm going to present the cup now, but I'm going to ask, I have 3 very important people here. I have Carrie Clark, I have Aaron, and Jacob is taking the place of the ball Kieran today. Jacob is the boss. So I'm going to ask them to hand over the Hugh Daniels cup. Those of you who remember Hugh Daniels' shop in Mullingar, I'm going to ask them to hand it over to Robbie Keegan.
You give it to Robbie. Now, shake hands. Very much. All right.
Yeah! Woo!
You can hold that for. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Frank. Oh, it's been out of the Deuce's head at the end of the match there. It was kind of a strange feeling. I know it's been a cliche that you always thank the opposing team, but I know there's a boundary between ourselves and St. Joseph's there. We're neighbours, and yeah, we all went to school together, and we know how much of a building they've been doing over the last number of years. Their own pitch, they're fielding now on their own at a good level underage, so they're just a club that's all the way on the up. And I know it's a cliche, but it's only a matter of time before you guys are up here lifting the junior cup. So yeah, just I want to give 3 cheers for St. Joseph's. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. I just want to edit like a lot of people in Ballinagore. We all know the Joseph people, and they're very, very passionate people, and they're all very proud of their club, and rightly so. So just round of applause for St. Joseph's, and hoping next year they're off here. Right, just on ourselves. You all got thanked last year, so you're not getting thanked again. All the people in the background. I know, we'll give you another shout out because you waited an awful long time. So I suppose we just want to start with all our committee members, our chairman, David Pigeon. You will not meet the board. He is a passionate, driven man, and he's come in there with a young man. He's serious in that. We hope fair play, maybe. I just want to name a lot the other members, our Vice Chairman Kevin Keegan, our Secretary Susie Peary. Susie, as I said last year, our future client, I said you're the mommy of the club, and you know, you're such a great insight from physio to doing ever, so fair play, Susie. I want to thank our treasurer, Sean Delaney. I think he might have been missed last year. His name might have got mentioned, but fair play, Sean. I don't know how many years he was doing that job. And I seen you out there this morning with the Ballinagore gear on walking the dogs, and I think you live for Ballinagore, so fair play, Sean. I want to give Jerry Matthew a mention, always keeping the pitch in such great condition. There's a number of other people in the committee. I'm not going to get around to mention them all. Obviously, I want to mention Mark King. I didn't know the pitch height last year, and I think he makes it hard for people to figure out because he's looking down the pitch, fixing water connections, wiring up floodlights, from video of the matches. He does a little bit of everything. He turns hands of everything, so fair play, Mark. Just want to give a quick shout out. A lot of the two seasons, the lads coming up from college, well, Tuesday and there's always been a great spread on them, and even out Sunday morning, so, you know, the likes of Kathy Ennis, the likes of Caroline Robson and Ashley King, and there's probably been a number of other people helping out, so fair play to you. It means an awful lot coming in, getting a warm cup of tea after a white cold Sunday morning. Keith that about the league, I know a man who probably never gets mentioned, and he does an awful lot of work, and I'm looking at him here now, Ian Seary. He's one of the nicest man in the club. He's probably the first man who I've ever got a pint. He's a bit of a fan favourite in probably years, but he's just an absolute gentleman, and the amount of work he's doing in the back of there, setting up stuff for lads before the pint, so I'm putting up Bunsen and everything. He's like a sort of hall. You can open him up and he leaves Ballinagore, so fair play. Was now down to the management. Just first I'd like to give Peter Robinson a shout out. It's probably a man who was there last year, nationally brought him in, and just an absolute powerhouse of a man coming from the underage, and just a very knowledgeable football man. And it's absolutely brilliant having him on the place. I had the pleasure of standing as an underage game there last year, and I think he knew every young lad's game on the little club Gales handle. So he's just an absolute credit to himself and underage club and senior club. So fair play, Peter. Our other coaching selector, Paul Seary. Paul doesn't need any introduction. The more than his brother opened him up, and he beat Ballinagore. He's been around Ballinagore as long as I can remember. So yeah, just fair play, Paul. He probably been around working with Ballinagore even when I'm gone. You know, setting up drills, setting up fundraisers, and having just brilliant man. So fair play, Paul. And again, man, he definitely needs no introduction from me or anyone in Ballinagore. The man that came in 2 years ago, he gets the club off his feet. Wait it! I said it here last year, it was an absolute honor to step out of the field and there with Mike Lennox. For a short couple of years we get there with it, but having him come back in there as manager, I remember seeing the Facebook post go up after the AGM, I think it was 2023. That was probably a bit of a low end of the grade step by before final in Junior 2. And I don't think anyone would have come in, I'm a firm believer we'd still be down to Junior 2 without actually coming in, just driving standards and everything, just an absolute powerhouse of a man. Yeah. My God! Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. I'm unreal day for the club. I never thought we'd be up here. People maybe joked 2 years ago about getting up to intermediate, and just nearly madness at that stage. So it's absolutely unbelievable now to be back up at intermediate. We're feeling 2 weeks in the league now, and yeah, just one thing I want to say is riding through the village. I've been absolutely proud of that. I've always been proud to be a Ballinagore man. But the more so the last 2 weeks, riding through the village, all the colour. I only got up to the own flag there about last week, and I was walking back in and seeing the maroon and white line at the end of the road. I never thought I'd be able to do that. In years, you could never prepare for that time. So it's absolutely unbelievable.
unbelievable. And yeah, through the fight back in the club again. And all I can say is,
Yeah, a rousing speech there from Captain. I think there's everybody like the Ballinagore. I think maybe bar the local school teacher or like that. But it's a proud day for them, Paul. And you have to say, you know, without any disrespect to St. Joseph's, 3 points really or 4 points really doesn't do Ballinagore justice. They were far and away the better side today.
Yeah, absolutely deserving winners. Mike, fair play to Michael Ennis. You know, as Robbie says there, he just dragged the team from Junior 2 last year. They were going nowhere, brought them up. Great win for them here today. You look at St. Paul's winning yesterday. It's an incentive for them. It's great for them that, you know, teams can do that. But deserving winners, you can't go much further without mentioning Tommy McDaniel, class on the day.
Absolutely.
10 points in a junior final. You know, he's the difference between the teams here today, really. Kicking 2 pointers. At half-time, I questioned whether St. Joseph's had the ability to come back into the game and kick 2 pointers. And they got 2 great ones at the start. And we thought, this is game on. Alan Conlon kicked one and Andy Scally kicked the other. And we thought that they were going to have a great game. But St. Joseph's never kicked another point. They kicked 1 point between the second minute of the second half and before they got the goal in injury time. And that's where they fell down.
And prior to that, they went for a 14-yard or 21-yard free with the whole parish of Ballinagore standing on the line.
Yeah.
And he went for a goal.
Yeah. Well, at that stage, they were 6 behind.
I'm not convinced.
You know, I just felt St. Joseph's didn't really go for it the way they could have, you know, and attacked one more in the second half. They seemed to play within themselves. But Ballinagore, when they got the ball, they held it very well, worked the ball, created the opening, some great individual performances, but thoroughly deserving winners on the day.
Yeah, and Owen, I suppose if we look at individual performances, you can't look any further than the starting 15 for Ballinagore, because Joseph really did not play up to their, you know, we know they're a decent side, but is there one player that would have stood out for me today and put his hand up and said no? Whereas most of Ballinagore were just in possession, they were so composed, they didn't panic at any stage, particularly at the start of the second half with those 2 early scores from Joseph. But Joseph didn't plough on at all at that stage. You know, there was, I just felt there was a lack of energy from them.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. The composure that Ballinagore showing, especially in the second half there against the wind. And look, the wind did calm down a little bit in the second half, but I would have kind of hoped that Joseph were going to push a bit forward and kind of put a bit more pressure on Ballinagore. But I thought the way Ballinagore were set up in both halves was just excellent. They were absolutely excellent.
We're joined by the legend that is Michael Ennis. Michael, I had the pleasure of chatting to you here a few weeks ago here prior to the match. And, you know, there's days, you've had plenty of real good days, both as a Ballinagore man and as a Westmeath man. But today has to rank up amongst one of the best. To bring a team, it was mentioned there in the speech, from their knees, and they're now playing intermediate football in 12 months' time.
Yeah, it's been, I suppose, a dream come true. I suppose I had great days as a player, and I suppose as a player it's probably more selfish because all you have to do is worry about yourself. Or you nearly get more satisfaction out of managing a team. You know, you've 30, 31, 32 lads. You're trying to keep them all happy, but in fairness, that we've asked them to do, they have done, and they've never done it. They haven't given out. They've just been a pleasure to work with. Like, we are a very proud club, and like a lot of clubs, you go through the doldrums. You just have to stick with it.
Roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches, and that's it. Like, you know, this could happen again to Ballinagore in 10 or 15
not
years.
The point.
Time,
not the point. Doesn't matter today.
Anyway,
we're just the lads and myself are just discussing there. The level of composure that you showed, particularly at the start of that second half where Josephs were making that little bit of a comeback, tweaked a few little things. They came out, worked perfectly. Substitutions made a bit of a difference as well. But when you have a man the likes of Tommy McDaniel can kick a point, as good as any point I've seen here in quite a long while, that really set the tone for the rest of the game. And it virtually finished the game, as far as I was concerned anyway. The one from the free over on the far side, against a very stiff breeze.
Yeah, that was a huge score, like, you know. Conceding two pointers in the first 2.5 minutes, you know, was kind of worrying because that was a strong wind, and we probably didn't use the wind as well as we should have had in the first half.
Okay.
Cody caught a few balls in full forward, and we probably should have tried it a bit more. Like, he had a good height advantage. In fairness, St. Joseph's did, and it caused a lot of problems with Ross Elliff in there. But, like, in fairness, the one thing this year the team has shown has been character, huge character. Like,
I agree with you.
You know, we played Joseph's earlier in the year, and they were probably the better team, and we were 4 points down, but we kept going, and we got a win, and that's kind of the way it's been. Like for a lot of the games, resilience. Like, against Lomans, like we were probably dead and buried, 2 points down, the penalty, but like not only to save it, we got the rebound to go down and get a 2-pointer, draw the game. Like the one thing that the team has is huge character, huge strength, and you know, once we weathered that first 5 minutes or whatever, you know, we came down the field, we got a few attacks, we got a few scores, and I think that just settled everyone down, like, you know, and I think we were professional after that.
I go back to that word composure. You know, there was no panic button pressed, either on the sideline or on the pitch. The players knew they had a job to do. Some of them stepped up considerably, I would have to say, particularly in that second half. You know, when they came under that pressure, probably, if we're being honest, and we've discussed this here already, probably we should have won by a little bit more.
Probably all right, like, but
no, that makes no difference.
I know,
that makes no difference.
The one thing we had said coming into the game was if we could cut out goals, we knew we were in with a great chance. Like, you know, we were very, very disappointed. You held their top marksman, virtually scored nothing at all. Like Dean Slevin, really, you know, one of the top players at junior level this year, really didn't feature today. Jordy McDonald didn't really feature today. You know, they were held, and that was the pivot. Like your win stemmed. I know it stems from the scores that you put on the board, but it also stemmed from a very, very strong defensive unit. Yeah, we would have prided ourselves in a strong defence, and you know, the last day we conceded 4 goals, probably maybe it was a bit of a wake-up call that we needed, like, you know, not it was complacent or anything like that. But we knew we had to work hard on it and tighten up our defence, but I thought we got our matchups right. And the Claffey marked Jordy McDonald earlier in the year, and he did a good job in them. You know, Peter Deegan did well, and Ross Elliff.
Yeah.
We had Luke Seary and Alan Conlon, like, you know, so I thought we got our matchups right, like, you know, so it's great when it works out. It doesn't work out the whole time, but when it does, it's nice.
What a day for the parish. I know what this means to people in Ballinagore. I know them very, very well, the series in particular. And, you know, I know what this means to the club out there, and I know what it means to people in general out there. You know, it's a lift not just for the club, and I've said this earlier on as well. It's a lift for the whole community out there as well. You know, to be back in intermediate football, where you suggest, and I would suggest, that Ballinagore should be.
Well, that's it. I suppose when I was starting, we kind of were there in intermediate and would have seen ourselves as an intermediate team, but you know, we went back junior, then we went down junior too, and you know, sometimes it might be better to go down and come back up again. Like, we blended in a couple of young players, like Owen Robinson for his first year in the team. He's a great pair of hands, had a phenomenal year. You know, with Philip Reynolds as well too. You know, and
a few more
Shane
coming
King,
through as well.
A few other lads coming through as well. Like, you know,
the
other lads coming through. What you need, like, you know, you need the bit of experience, and you need the youth as well too. But I just like to give a particular shout out to Brandon Carey today. Thought he had an outstanding game.
Absolutely.
He's had a very, very tough week personally. Himself and his partner, has been a tough week for them. But it just shows the resilience in the man to come in and put in a performance like that after the week he's had. Is just hats off to him, and I'm thrilled for all the lads. I mean,
so are we.
It's credit for all of them. Like, you know, they're the ones that do all the right decisions. You know, we Jack Cooney in doing a training session with us this year, and he says, you know, when you cross the line, it's the players.
The final.
It was before the championship started, like, so. But Jack was great to come out and give us a training session, which we took an awful lot from. But as he said, like, it's down to the players. As management, you're just facilitators. You try and get them fit, try and get your tactics right. After that, the decisions are made in the pitch, and that's it.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself. I think an awful lot of it is to do with the fact that the players, and I know quite a number of the players, they look up to Michael. And Michael Ennis is a hero, an absolute hero of Ballinagore, and they look up to him. And if they're ever going to put the shoulder to the wheel for anybody, they're going to do it for Michael Ennis. Gorgeous. Congratulations. The very best of luck to you in the Leinster Championship. And I believe the Bowron is the place to be tonight. Is that true? And maybe
tomorrow.
For the next couple of days.
And tomorrow. For tonight and tomorrow, that's for sure, yeah.
Michael, thank you very much, and congratulations on a magnificent win for Ballinagore.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, an absolute hero of the game here, and Paul O'Donovan.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched him and I've seen him play, and you can almost sense the passion in the man.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt he's driven the side on to what they've achieved the last couple of years. And I think he mentioned everybody there, and, you know, picked out the right people to congratulate them, the effort they make. Just mention one other player for Ballinagore. Just after St. Joseph's had got those two pointers at the start of the second half, Carl Daly in goal made a big save.
He did,
a goal at that
very
stage.
Brave save.
Would have made a huge difference. And he also caught a high ball under the crossbar when there were 6 points in it.
I'm going to ask Owen Carberry.
And one you'd be proud of. And from that, Ballinagore and Tommy McDonald went down the far and got a point, a vital point to create the gap to 7. So that was huge.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier as well, Owen. You know, sometimes it's the players that you know you're not expecting to stand up. Like Ballinagore had them all over the place today, and Michael is right. There was a huge amount of resilience there, but you have to mention Tommy McDonald. 10 points in any final, no matter if it's an under 12 ladies game, it doesn't matter. 10 points of the toppest quality, and you know he just controls his control, his composure, everything about him, you know, and we've missed that. We've missed him even as a Westmeath player.
Yeah, and look, I think the turning point in the second half was his free in the far side, outside the right foot.
Said it at the time.
That completely took the sting out of the tail for St. Joseph's. And look, Tommy is probably one of the most talented footballers Westmeath produced in the last 10, 15 years. And I suppose
injury didn't help.
And look, he's just an unbelievable talent that has come through Westmeath, and we're very lucky to see him there today. And I definitely played a good level of Dublin. But I have to say though, I came into the game thinking, look, if they could stop Tommy, but like it was like Brandon Carey, unbelievable form. I think Darcy controlled midfield.
Cody Fannan.
I think they absolutely control it. And
like you could go through 1 to 15 for Ballinagore, and I would find it extremely hard to say one of them that didn't put in a bit of a shift at some stage in the game, including their goalie. And from a goalie's perspective, bottom line is you stop the ball going into the net, and he did that spectacularly, particularly that save early in the second half.
100%. And look, at first kick out he kind of gave it away, and Joe Scott scored, but he didn't let it affect him, and that's massive for a goalkeeper. And then throughout the game, and that ball he pulled out the sky there, just going underneath the crossbar. I think we nearly thought it was going in. It was huge, and they went down and got a score. I was hugely impressed by Cathal Daly.
Yeah, it was a tremendous day, and a tremendous day for Ballinagore. You know, we can't deny them, Paul. They were far the better side here today. I don't think 4 points really covers it, and that's no disrespect to St. Joseph's. They will know it must be heartbreak for them down there in Streamstown. I mean, it's year upon year. It's just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak.
Well, it didn't just come, accidentally. I mean, as I said, Michael Ennis would have, we know what he would have done with that team. He would have had them geared up so hard, so much. He would have had them the fitness. So would have gone through the mill for him, They go through the wall for Michael. And you could see that out there. And defensively, they were so strong. So when Josephs did come forward with their best efforts, they were just able to thwart them every time, got men around the ball, picked them up, won the frees, cleared the ball.
Seemed to have a bit more pace as well.
Yeah.
When like Ballinagore, when they attacked with huge pace. Josephs were a little bit ponderous.
Yes, very ponderous, Paul. Very, very slow in the build-up and going across the field and over and back, and maybe finding a ball here in this position when 2 or 3 players were in a better position the far side, getting it slow to work it across. But look, that's the way it is.
That's football.
Big day, big occasion. Ballinagore, worthy winners on the day, and worthy champions going forward now to Leinster to intermediate championship, and the best luck. They'll put in a huge effort.
Leinster Junior Championship.
Yes, but I meant intermediate football in Westmeath and Leinster Junior.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I have to pull you up every week. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. This is probably one of our last broadcasts as AirVTV for the year. It's been a wonderful, wonderful year of football, from our perspective anyway, certainly, to be able to be here for these games. It's been an absolute credit, and sometimes we said it, we've said it here on a number of weeks. It's been the rule changes that have made a huge difference here. But from our perspective, it has been amazing. I want to thank Ger Gavin, Ollie Gallagher, all our camera crews. Sarah was here today, Donny Malone, turns up here for the football matches and doesn't know what a small ball is. But Ray on commentary, who gives an absolute different perspective on the game completely. It's been our pleasure to bring you the games. We hope we might have another couple of podcasts maybe before Christmas, but we hope you do stay with us and keep tuned to the Westmeath channel, because our Westmeath teams are now in Leinster action for the next couple of weeks. But from all of us here in TEG Cusick Park, from Paul and Owen and everybody involved, it's Slán agus Bannacht, and we'll see you again real soon. Thank you for tuning in.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.